your boy M. I went out and made a purchase maybe about a week ago because I had a situation with my lug nuts on my tire. I had a mechanic go over it for me, and I brought him parts. I brought him the upper and lower ball joints and tie rods for both sides. And one day I just decided that I wanted to see what was really going on under there. So I went to Pep Boys and let me know, listen, your other tie rod is still bad. It's bad. It needs replacing. Your upper and lower ball joint. So what had happened is I paid this guy originally to do both sides. Tie rod, upper and lower ball joints, both sides. So what he did is he did one side, and he brought me back the parts and said the other side didn't need done. But he kept the money for labor for both sides. So I decided, I wanted to see what he had really done over here on the side. And when I took the tire off, I seen that the alignment was way off, and he had to replace some of the parts, upper and lower ball joints. So he had put these lug nuts on so tight that I couldn't get them off. He must have used like at least a 6-foot extension bar or something, because there was so much torque on there. I couldn't budge it. I put liquid wrench over there on it, waited overnight, couldn't get nothing done. So I went out and brought this. And what this is a Goodyear 1/2-inch impact wrench. And it comes, as you see here, with 120-volt, 24-volt battery, a charger, which is pretty heavy. It charges your impact wrench here in an hour and a half. It also came with a 1/2-inch socket. It's pretty heavy duty. All of these sockets and extensions are impact duty. You got the 3/4 that come with it. You got the 13/16. You got the 21 millimeter, and you got the 19 millimeter. In which I needed none of the 4, so I had to go out and get me a 22 millimeter because that was the size of my lug nuts. And this was able to bust those lug nuts over there on the other side that I couldn't get off. Now this is like the 3rd tire that I did today with this impact driver on the same battery. This is my 3rd tire that I took off and put on today. And it's a 24-volt cordless impact wrench by Goodyear, 2200 RPMs, 2200 impacts per minute. Plenty of torque. Plenty. So, since I went on and took the lug nuts off and when I got to it, I said that I might as well go ahead on and do the wheel alignment, or at least get it as close as I can. And I found out some tricks. I found out a trick I can do as far as getting the wheel alignment as close as possible. So just check it out. Like I said, this is the 3rd tire I'm taking off and putting on one charge on this Goodyear impact wrench, and it's also a 1900 milliamp hour battery, half drive. So let's see, 3rd tire. Took that one off. That one off. Good deal. So I took them all off. No real problem. more than enough torque. I use the old Trades Pro 24 impact, and you know, there's nowhere compared to this Goodyear. You can actually hold it with your hand and stop it from turning. You'll never be able to do this with this Goodyear impact. So now I'm going to take this tire off, and I'm going to adjust my wheel alignment. And I know this wheel, the camber's out a little bit, so I'm going to show you how to do it and get it closer, as close as you can get it. Okay? So I know particularly that this needs to go in some. The camber's out too far, and I already tried it, measured it up and everything, and it's just coming out a little too far. So I'm going to take it back in a little and see what happens. Got it loose. One. Screw it back on. I took it completely off. I'm going to take this second one loose back here on this tie rod. Alright. So I'm going to have to switch this one up. Hit it from the bottom and hold it up top. Get this on here. Okay. Same thing. Stripped it completely off. Didn't strip it, but it just took the whole nut off there. And you don't want to be using your 24 impact wrench on nothing like this. This is actually a Milwaukee I'm using here. It's 1,500 inch-pounds. So, gotta be careful with that. Now, I took them both loose. Now what I'm going to do is, I think this tire was out a little too far, so I'm going to take it in. I'm going to turn these both right here and bring it in. So let's see. It's right there. That's out. That's out. I need to come in. So I think that should be about it, maybe. Let's try that. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is tighten that back up. Put my tire back on. By the way, I'm using a 13mm and a 13mm deep socket. I took it off in reverse. Alright. tight that gap in there. And so what I'm gonna do, pull these tools back out the way. I'm gonna put this tire on here. Right. Now, we're going to put these back on here. Lug nut. Kind of go across from each other. Just tighten them up a little bit. And put this on here. And then you go tighten them up. Opposite each other. Tightens them super tight. Not a toy. And that's what you pretty much do. Right there. Tighten them up. Go across from each other. So you get a good even mount on your tire. Now I can just sit here and tell that that's on point, but I'm going to show you another trick so you can make sure that this goes your way. And what you're going to do is I'm going to put this board on this wheel, okay? What I'm going to do is see where my camber's at. I want to take this speed square here. I'm going to do an exact line straight across. Okay, and I'm putting this back in here just as far as I can put it back and keep a straight line. So what you're going to do here, draw a straight line. So you know you got it on point. And in this situation, I'm using the 55 mark. So that comes out right there. Okay, then you go on the other side. You do the same thing. So, make sure you can get the straight line first, again. If you get the straight line, then you got it in the same spot over here. If you can get the straight line, it's in the same spot. Draw your straight line and then mark it. 55 again. Okay? And when I look at these lines, this line right here, I just circled, that matches up exactly with this. Okay? And what's that showing me is that my alignment's pretty on point. The camber is right. Took me so long to keep doing this, I had to keep troubleshooting, but that's how you would do it. To get as close as you can get on it. And my wheel alignment is so much better. It's so much better. That was the last little adjustment that I made right there. And this impact is just great. It surprised me. I used the Trace Pro before. It was pretty good, but I didn't like it because you can actually hold the socket and stop it from turning. Even the impacts per minute with them, it still wouldn't turn. You can just hold it. And it got hot a lot faster than what this does. This doesn't really get hot. It'll get warm, but it does pretty good. And I'm on the third tire that I took off and put on with this. And it still has a lot of power, as you can see. So overall, I recommend this product, and I'll give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Thank you, YouTube. Till next time.